Well, we're back here. Now, so Spooky Monday. I'm so glad y'all could join me. So, Sally, I was thinking about forming a Twitter. I did the rules. I give y'all no week, okay? Since I made that Twitter fair, I'm gonna give y'all until next Monday to form a Twitter. Send me some submissions. So, this week I will pick a few. So this will be last week, I hope, and I'm picking all a few. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get into all this. So, no, see what Spooky Monday is. Well, it's basically a thing where we sit down, have a good time, watch the creepy videos. Sitting well used by you. Well, you guys can't say sitting by fans on Twitter. But hopefully next week I can find Twitter on some videos. But sitting by me, yeah. But when y'all see on Twitter, yeah, have to use hashtag Click Skip Monday to when you see it, use hashtag Click Skip Monday so we can see them. I. So I think with that being said, we said watch some spooky videos, y'all. Let's do it. Dun dun. Oh, why do you have to have this first video pulled up? Is that it? Bye. So, the first video is called A Terrifying Winter Talk Animation by your boy Llama Arts 8 Llama. Sorry I didn't want to, we had Ron's Entertainment last week, but not Llama. So, here we go. So, I don't know what this would be about. Yes, I didn't know if you're going to close call, I'll probably wait on next week. Okay? Or if y'all see that one in, okay? Because y'all know week. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go. Let's see what this one's about.
Before heading to my local community college for classes, I like to wake up at around 5 in the morning for a brisk morning jog. It helps clear my head and definitely helps wake me up so I can focus in class. When I first started doing this, it was a huge hassle, but over time I grew accustomed to it, and it's now a highlight of my day. However, as time went on, I found myself becoming quite uncomfortable. Not in a physical sense, but more so it was like my fight or flight instincts began kicking in seemingly at random. I'd whip my head around to see if anybody was following me or even peeking at me through the wooded park in which I ran, but couldn't see anybody. It didn't help that it was dark either, so even if there was somebody creeping in the dark, there was no way I could tell. As an extra precaution, I started carrying around some pepper spray in order to fend off any would-be attackers. But as time went on and that eerie sensation occurred more and more, I just couldn't bring myself to run anymore. A friend of mine, Daniel, a self-proclaimed runner himself, told me that I shouldn't worry about it. He said that the mind plays tricks on oneself when he can't see things clearly, especially in the dark. After being reassured by him, I decided to give jogging another go. So today, like any other day, I slapped on some black leggings, tied my hair up in a ponytail, put on my kicks, and set my music volume to full blast and headed out the door. I felt fantastic at first and was loving the cool breeze and crisp morning air. But then, about halfway into my jog, a tall and hooded figure stepped out onto the path in front of me. Quickly, I pulled out my pepper spray and yelled at the person to leave me alone. The person quickly pulled down their hood, revealing themselves to be Daniel. I sighed with relief as he approached and laughed at how funny it was that we ran the same path. I expressed to him that I felt safer knowing he was around. Daniel, however, stepped a little too close and gave a crooked smile. He said that of course I was safe with him, as apparently I had been safe with him for weeks. The realization of what he meant quickly dawned on me as his hands began to creep their way around my waist. I screamed at him to let me go and prepared to spray him, but he slapped it out of my hand and proceeded to grab my throat. With strained screams, I begged him to let me go and for someone to help me. He yelled at me and tightened his grip, asking why I wasn't thankful for his watchful eyes for the past several weeks. I was stunned at the complete personality change from the once gentle friend I knew. Pretty soon, I started to black out and grow weak, but just before passing out, I could hear the sounds of dogs barking and an older man screaming for Daniel to let me go. In a panic, he released me and ran back into the woods. I gasped for air before I began sobbing as the man escorted me out of the park and brought me straight to the police station.
Oh my
and
god.
Despite my fears and reservations, I told him
He
everything
is
I knew about
such
him,
a talk.
what
Oh
I
my
thought he
god.
did and what he had done to me.
Yeah, no,
He
don't be
immediately
with
said
him
before far out,
anymore.
told me that
What
everything
the
would be okay.
heck?
The next day, I heard Daniel never showed up to class. He had been arrested several hours later after I left the police station and confessed to everything with a disgusting amount of self-righteousness. He was recorded as saying, "She needed me. Only I can protect her. Who knows what could have been hiding in those woods." It took me a while to feel comfortable going back to school, and even then, my trust in people was never the same again. I guess even the ones you were close to can snap, just like that, at any time.
Wow. Okay, so when Magus didn't thank him? Wow. He must be helpful. What the freak? Yeah, I'm gonna be friends with those type of people. For real. Alright, let me get the next one. Put up. Alright, here goes this one. Alright, this one's longer, 15 minutes long, but called this Psychotic Man. And Wednesday Entertainment last week. We had to feel Baby Hoy's friend on it, shout out to Baby Hoy. Hey, for real one, then Baby Hoy. So back here again, 15-minute video, I know. I'm doing this one and the Backrooms are both long videos, but that's what this series is about, like we had this long, creepy videos. But the first one is done, I want to make these videos longer, like last week's video was almost 2 minutes long, so yeah. Anyways, let's see what this one is all about, y'all. Here we go.
For those of you watching this now, I would like to say this before you hear my story. If your parent or guardian never stressed the lesson of tell a trusted adult when you are in an uncomfortable situation, I am urging you to take this lesson seriously, because I wish it was drilled into my head more, because if it was, I know this experience would not have happened the way it did. The reason I am sharing this experience with you is because I am still seeking therapy for it to this day, and probably for many more years to come. My therapist wanted me to finally go into detail of what happened that night, so I wrote this for them, but for the sake of privacy, I will be changing the names of those involved. Thank you. Now, let's begin with how it all began. This happened when I was 13 years old. My three best friends and I, who let's call Ella, Raven, and Jess, were having a sleepover at Ella's house since we wanted to watch the new movie in the franchise we were all obsessed over. Ella's house was the best choice since it was in between all of our houses and we would have the entire house to ourselves for most of the night. We planned out the entire night, as a young group of friends would do, but at the last minute decided to take a trip down to the Safeway that was about 5 or 6 miles walk from the house. Now, keep in mind that all 4 of us at the time were seasoned soccer players, so we could all run quite fast for a long duration of time. However, I was getting off of a pretty serious injury, so I couldn't run as fast or as long as I normally could, and I was a very conditioned runner at that time. Anyway, we arrived at the store around 4:30 p.m., I believe, and during that time of year and where we lived, the sun was still up, but it was going to disappear behind the mountain in about an hour or so. We didn't want to stay any longer than 15 or 20 minutes, since the walk back to her house would take more time since we would be walking uphill and carrying our grocery bags. We also didn't want to be left to walk home in the dark, since mountain lions and bears were common in her area. And if you know anything about living in an area like that, it was common knowledge to get inside before sunset. We finished our shopping and totaled about 5 or 6 bags to carry between the 4 of us. As we were about to leave the store, we heard Ella's name being called by one of the workers. Ella turned around, and it turned out to be someone she knew. They chatted for a bit, but we couldn't really understand what they were saying to each other since they were talking in Spanish. Raven nudged Ella and said that we should go soon, so Ella said goodbye to her friend, and we began to walk out of the store. I looked up, and I estimated we had about 10 to 15 minutes of light left, so I said we should hurry. We began walking back home, and as we were leaving, a ragged-looking man approached us, asking for spare change or money. I was immediately hit with the smell of sweat, urine, feces, you name it.
Okay, so last time this happened was on Australia, but last time it was a crazy homeless man that tried to kill him, so maybe be like the same thing in this. What's it with crazy homeless people, like, for real?
I felt sympathetic for the man, since my family taught me to always be sympathetic to those less fortunate than us, even though we could have been labeled as lower class at that time since money was tight for us. I should also mention that since money was tight, my friends said that they would pay for my share since they had enough on them. Therefore, when the man asked us for cash, I said, "Sorry, sir, I'm afraid we don't have any spare change on us." I was so naive, it made me sick. As to why I feel this way is because of what I now realize. We were told we lived in a safe area with low crime or theft, we're all 13-year-old girls still carrying our spending money and had no idea how to handle the situation. The man began to step closer to us and outstretched one of his hands, which was covered in soiled bandages and covered in dirt. However, Ella is easily angered and is not afraid to fight people, so she immediately stepped forward and said a strong and affirmative, "Back off." Out of the corner of my eye, I could see my 2 other friends, Raven and Jess, became rigid with fear when Ella said this. The man began to get angry with us and said, "Well, it's probably because you spend all of your money on useless shit like junk food and treats. You ever think about those of us who can't afford those types of things, huh? No, and you know why? Because you're all..."
Yeah, he's psycho.
His voice was thick and raspy, but sounded weak, and his speech was slurred, and his posture was extremely lax. His vibe was completely off-putting.
Let's go away. Don't have any money.
Just then, Jess nudged me in my back and looked at me and mouthed the words, "Do something." And I am the type of person who doesn't get angry unless provoked, and I never let people scare those I care about. I reluctantly stepped forward and told the man to back off or there was going to be a problem. He looked at me dead in the eyes, and I will never forget what he did. He breathed in deeply, long and slow. His eyes rolled in the back of his head, and without saying a word or opening his eyes, turned around and walked around to, what I can assume, the back of the Safeway. The strangest part of all of this were the other people entering the Safeway. None of them seemed to notice the man at all, not a single one. One person in particular, the man was about to run into them, yet they hadn't made any form of notice of his presence. The 4 of us were all still in shock, but I spoke up and said, "We need to go now." I regret my decision that day more than anything in my life. We should have gone back into the store and gotten Ella's friend's help, but instead, we isolated ourselves and went straight to the only place where we would be alone. My friends and I then began running, and I mean running, back to Ella's house. I was at the back of the group due to my injury, and I swear on my life that I could hear footsteps behind me in the scrub oak we were running alongside. I wanted to look back, but I just kept on running. My conscience made me feel like I was running from pure evil. The sun had gone down at this point, and Ella was the only one who knew the way back, but it was so dark that none of us could see where we were. Not that there was anything to see except for woods and the occasional weathered street sign. We stopped running after what seemed like 20 minutes, and we were all exhausted. I knew the others were scared and acting frantically in their flight response. Hers to speak up and said, "Ella, do you recognize anything around us?" She sounded like she was on the verge of tears when she said, "No, I'm so sorry, guys. I have no idea how to get home." Jess started to cry softly, and Raven went silent and sat down in the dirt. Something in the pit of my stomach urged me to speak up and tell my friends that I thought I heard those man's footsteps behind me as we were running. But I ignored it. They were all freaking out as it was, and I didn't want to escalate the situation any further. I knew basic survival skills for different occasions, so I took inventory of our surroundings. The moon was rising to my left, which meant the mountains were to the right. I looked on the mountain and found the lights of the radio towers glowing at the top of one of the higher peaks. Knowing this, I knew that Ella's house had to be about 4 or 5 o'clock. I shared this with my friends and started to lead them in that direction. I thought I saw a wave of relief on their faces, but I wasn't sure at that time. Just as we began walking in that direction, we all heard what sounded like a dying animal wailing in the scrub oak behind us. Branches cracking, dry grass shifting, and some small critters scurrying for cover. The smell of death, and what I can only explain as alcohol, filled the air. We all froze. I motioned them to start moving to the other side of the path and hide in the shadows. Luckily, we were on a paved path, so we were able to move quietly, and we were all wearing dark clothing that made no sound when we moved. Raven said we needed to get downwind in case it was a predator, but in my gut, I recognized that smell. The moments after that were silent. We heard nothing. The smell went away, and all of us were so quiet it was like we never existed. I was about to motion to the girls that we should start moving, but Jess grabbed my arm. She said nothing, but the look on her face told me we weren't alone. She motioned with her eyes to look to my left, over my shoulder. I wanted to vomit. There was a dead deer being dragged along the road. I could see in the moonlight its blood was painting the pavement in a dark, thick color. I couldn't see what was dragging the deer.
It's a
but I
homeless
could now hear
man. It
three
has to
raspy
be
breathing
the
in sequence that
psycho
believed the deer was being
homeless
pulled in.
person.
I slowly turned my head back to my friends, who were all on my right side. Raven's hand was being held tightly over her mouth, her eyes closed and curled up in a ball, trying not to make any noise from her faint whimpering. Ella had a cold expression that made me realize she was disassociating and could no longer take in anything that was happening around us. Knowing this, I grabbed them all by their hands, looked them in the eyes with reassuring glances, and told them as quietly as I could, "We are going to be okay. Don't worry. We know how to get home now, and it's already killed, so as long as we don't go near its prey, it will leave us alone. We just need to move as quietly and swiftly as possible." They began to come back to reality and nod their heads in approval. I lied in some of my statements, trying to convince myself that they were true. I continued, "You three will go ahead of me. Raven, you need to take the lead with Ella and keep her grounded." Raven was the type who needed something to distract herself, but also to keep Ella in check since she was the best at keeping people calm and grounded. She had enough experience with Ella and I, since we both have mental illnesses that require grounding sometimes. She will be able to recognize where we are sooner or later. And when that happens, you need to relay that information to me through Jess. Jess, you go ahead of me and make sure that we stay as close together as possible. With that, we began to move as quietly as we could, yet still holding our bags since we hadn't realized we were still holding them. After about 6 minutes of pure fear, walking in the darkness at the back of the group, Jess relayed to me that Ella knew where we were and that she thought we would be home in about 5 minutes of walking. Just then, as Jess was picking up her pace to keep in the middle, I heard it again. I could hear the deep and long breaths that sounded exactly like those of the man at the store behind me. I am aware that paranoia can do unimaginable things, but this was no paranoia. I picked up my pace to where we were all together, knowing that we were more powerful together. We finally reached Ella's neighborhood and sprinted to her house. There were other house lights on, so we could finally see what was around us. My subconscious told me to look behind us to see if I could see what was behind me now that there was light. As I ran, I looked back behind me, and my heart stopped. I saw the silhouette of a man in the scrub oak, with their hands outstretched and head arched back. It looked like they were almost worshiping something, or someone. I whipped my head back around and sprinted at full speed, gathering my friends in front of me, urging them to run faster, saying a simple, "Go!" We reached Ella's front door, punched in the door key, and slammed the door shut. We were all panting in her doorway, but they were completely unaware of what I saw. We gathered up in the basement, since it was the most guarded area of the house with an alarm on the basement door if it was opened. Ella pulled out the air mattresses her family kept in the closet, and we gathered enough blankets to cover every square inch of the room. Once we all began to feel safe again, they all thanked me for keeping them calm and getting them back here safely. I said nothing, finally processing what I saw and everything we experienced. They nervously asked if I was all right, and with tears in my eyes, I told them what I saw and heard. They all said that they believed me, but I don't think that they will ever truly understand what I felt and saw that night when I saw that man, and I am so thankful for that. But the story doesn't end here. Now, I am a very heavy sleeper. For context, my mother used to wake me up with banging pots outside my door, and even that failed to work sometimes, so I have no idea why this happened. For more context, since we were in the basement, the windows were built underground with enough space for someone to fit in the space in front of it. Now, I still don't know if it was a dream or not, but I woke up to the sound of more breathing that same night, and when I opened my eyes, in the reflection of the mirror in Ella's bathroom, I could see outside of her window. My eyes tried to focus on the silhouette of what I saw, but I didn't have my glasses on. But from what I could make out, there was a person with their palms pressed on the glass of the window, staring at us while we slept. I passed out from the collective fear of that night finally hitting me, and when I woke up, there was nothing there, not even a handprint. I asked them if they woke up at all last night, and they all said no.
Probably
It is now years later, and let it be
nightmare.
known that I have not had a single dream since that night, but I still have night terrors.
Because I know that because from experiences that I've had when I feel like you're really stressed out about something, your brain creates a nightmare about that, like for real. So I'm process a nightmare. I think I was like sleep paralysis when he's saying, "What is nightmare?"
Open windows filled with figures watching me sleep, the smell of death and alcohol, darkness surrounding me completely, and running in place with death closing in on me until I wake up in cold sweats, trembling until morning. I don't know if these nightmares will ever stop, but I am thankful that none of my friends experience the same horrors I do.
Yes, jeez. Man. That'll say it. So what the story is, don't go out by yourself. If you already have your friends and stuff, like you can feel, you need to have like a guardian or something to protect you, because that guy was insane. Jeez, and kill a deal. Like, that guy was psycho. Oh my god. That's all I give that to entertainment for real. That was a good video. I'm about to do is 12 to 13 minutes in. A single time for one more for the Backrooms one, okay? Alrighty, and I think I'm gonna go to I think I'm gonna go. I wonder if see what they would call it, like true hero story. Yeah, that's right. If they, definitely some new videos. Oh wait, they were not saying they were doing. Y'all, if we do get to the Backrooms, one. I don't want to. Teeth. All these are long. Okay, this one is on 18 minutes. This is good enough for me. Alright, let's go. Next up is the boys. Who is the video free? They are the king. They even must get by the fields. This is I mean, if you guys kiss it, then you're a real one. For real. And they made so many good skate videos for real. I love, like, I feel like I skate right here with always be free on his channel. They are so good. So we're back here with another series that Chris has on one episode of called Will or Not. Basically, from what I remember when Chris had watched this, they will present us with 3 stories, okay? And only one of them are real. So it's gonna be, you know, our choice to decide, which one is real, but which one's are fake, okay? Last time was really hard, so let's say be even harder. Let's go.
Proses jual beli rumah senang dengan khidmat ejen yang profesional. Berpengalaman.
Again, they are for non-language. I've turned on the subtitles. Turn on the subtitles.
Proses jual beli rumah senang dengan khidmat ejen yang profesional.
Wait, why aren't the closed captions working? Because I'm playing at 2 times speed. English auto rated. There we go.
Perspektif yang segar. Package terbaik. Hasan Jaafar Property. Perlu rumah? Ingat Shima. Hubungi kami sekarang.
Alright, here we go.
Hai, Assalamualaikum, saya Acap dan selamat kembali ke episod 9 kami di segmen Real or Not. So, tanpa kita membuang masa, marilah kita saksikan video kita. Let's go.
PLV 1.
Gila. Aku kecil, aku tak boleh tahan. Saya jadi tempat kencing selalu. Aku tempat kencing.
Sabar, okay,
Bagi saya kata minta. Kamu cakap video lah. Gila. Dia. Burulah bang. Sial, aku dah kencing lah siap. Burulah. Kau.
They disappeared. It's like Backrooms saying. There might be a Backrooms. Okay, I'm gonna say so far maybe this one's fake. Oh, now my face is disappear. But is he a monster? I don't know why it's sleeping. I don't see anything. Okay, sometimes I will get finally at least.
Dah, tak apa, dah. Kita baca beritahu, kita baca beritahu. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum. Mak. Tak belum balik. Berapa ni?
Oh, I don't know about time scales. I think time scales are really good for real. They have top tier time scales.
Penat betul. Astagfirullah. Esok orang pagi.
What's happening? What is that? That applies as a dream. Oh my god. I think it's fake. Yeah, it's a good anime fake. Alright, second one, y'all.
Aku ingin menjadi kaya dan berubah. Aku jadikan dunia dunia kaya. Aku akan hidup ini.
Nothing's really happening so far. What does he trip on? What the hell? Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that's one. Oh no, this one's fake also. I don't know. Yeah, that one's I don't know. Maybe that one's real.
I'm Hassan Jaffa,
I'm Hashima.
and we are the HH property team. Technically, HDB properties have a 99-year lease. However, all flats and estates in Singapore like Tanglin Hawk, which is around 6 years old, generally go through SIRS, or more commonly known as en bloc.
You'll be offered compensation for your current flat at market rates. You also get offered a video, usually nearby, with a fresh 99-year lease.
After paying off your standing loan, you can choose to use the remaining compensation money for your new flat.
This works out if you're not eligible for video anyway.
Supernatural things. Tahu ya? Is it me Sakura? Sakura. Actually sini dia. So apa pendapat korang for this episode?
What that was.
I think it's real. Okay. Begitu jawapan begitu short and sweet. Okay, so next. Okay, for me I would say it's also true because I've heard stories. This thing can happen. Can I ask the girls?
I don't know. I think these ones, will, I think, okay, I'm gonna go see my partner so.
Itu dia guys. So, what do you guys think? Give number 1, 2, ataupun 3?
I think
Korang boleh lah mula untuk vote. And also,
it was, oh freaking me, the first one was about, I could say the first one, cause I don't know where he saw, but I'm gonna say that one. Okay, so was number 1. Okay, so we're gonna have to go for to the other video now, where they revealed it. So yeah. Right. Let's see how we feel, y'all. Let's see if I was right. If number 1 being real and the rest being fake. I'm just gonna watch up to put they feel which one was real. I'm not quite the entire video.
Hi, welcome to the 9th episode of Real or Not Backstory Edition. Itu dia guys, macam biasa juga. Sebelum kita mulakan kita punya backstory, aka The Reveal, let's hear it from our main sponsor.
Proses jual beli rumah senang.
Dengan khidmat Eden yang
Of course. Right.
Itu dia guys, perlu rumah?
Ingat Shima.
Hassan Jaffa
Property.
Kalau ada soalan apa-apa tentang perumahan, sila hubungi mereka. Ya, aku nak tahu.
Ah, itulah, siapa tu?
Kita tak sabar. Betul Oh, cerita siapa? Aku tak tahu cerita episode mana betul dulu lah. Terus tak tahu siapa yang lalu dia. Gitu. Tak sabar. Dia macam lupa skrip. Okay guys. Itulah terus saja botol Okay guys. guys, jawapannya ada di dalam envelope ini. Tapi sebelum aku kasih
First one, come up with how I got it right.
kita recap dulu lah.
Number
Kita
one.
dulu macam dulu Okay, so the minggu lepas kita dah tunjukkan 3 POV. The first one is pissed off. Yang pasal budak tu dia kencing sembarang tu.
Oh.
Tak bagus tu. Jangan. The
Masa
second one which is
masa.
transgress. Kalau korang dapat memahami cerita dia, orang tu actually mula-mula in the POV dia ada buat benda salah sikit tu. Tuang-tuang air blok-blok ke mengamik tu semua. And the last one is unreal. Nak tolong? Nak. Okay, itu dia guys. So, antara ini tiga-tiga POV, mana satu yang korang fikir is real? Siapa nak mulakan dulu?
Ya, aku pilih nombor 3.
Unreal. Okay, kenapa? Dia tu. Kenapa?
Pasal bila aku macam ada lah experience sikit banyak macam tidur tapi tak panggil aku nak tolong lah.
Okay, tunggu nak
Kira
tanya.
macam when aku tidur kat rumah ni tak ada mana.
Okay.
So is lorong tu. So aku pernah 3 kali lah tinggal jalan benda ni.
Oh.
Macam happy je. Lepas tu aku nak bawa apa kan.
Kelas 5 biasa.
Risau aku.
Jangan lama.
So macam gitulah dia punya cerita macam sikit-sikit lah.
Similar jadi kau rasa.
Yes,
Betul. Okay,
correct.
faham. Nanti kita get back to that. Aku curious juga ni cerita kau ni. Okay, Diana. Okay,
Aku punya is transgression.
Okay,
Transgress.
Kenapa?
Because I've heard about orang kalau macam buat ritual tapi in another way it's susuk kan. Susuk kan banyak tantang kan.
Okay.
So macam when I saw the story, so I think that it's the most macam most logical one.
Faham. Benda tu ganggu dia sebab dia
langgar antara
langgar.
ini.
Okay. Wow, hari ini korang betul-betul this time korang betul-betul fikirkan korang dah belajar.
Yang nombor 3 betul.
Korang dah belajar macam nak weed out the truth ataupun the lies.
Yes.
So let's hope korang betul lah
Betul.
Okay guys, jawapannya envelope ini. Hari ini siapa nak buka? Diana buka lah.
Okay, boleh.
Dah buka, dah joget tadi dia. Okay, silakan. 2 kali guys, dia masuk keluar. Tak percaya ke?
Guys, tengok ni. It's not mine, not Irin.
Jawapannya adalah Yes.
Got it right.
Cerita nombor 1 guys.
Barang lagi,
Yes, piece off. Betul. Cerita yang orang kencing sembarang yang tak senonoh itulah. Betul. Unfortunately.
Siapa ni?
Orang ni dia famous. Diorang terkenal juga di Singapore tapi diorang podcaster.
So I got it right. I got it right. Boom. I actually got it right. So I definitely got it wrong, but your boy got it right. Hey. Vice versa, man. Also, let me that quick. So there we go. Number 1. No, y'all got it right. For real, y'all. I don't know. I will. But this thing I want to probably say number 2 because I could see happening like it's on through like a tunnel and then continue up. But no, Sweden makes sense to me because no. Yeah. So yeah. Alright. So that's it for that. Now it's time for the main thing, y'all. It's time for the second part of Backrooms. Last time it was about a pitfall with this guy fell into a pit and I mean different reality and different universe. So let's see what the second part of Backrooms have for us, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm waiting to try to this all week. For real. Alright, let's go. So last year this week is called Backrooms Report. And it's only 6 minutes long, I say God, because alright. Better be some song. Is it good? It can't because I made these on longer videos. So yeah. Alright, let's see what's gonna happen now. This is I think the last Backrooms video for now. I don't know what's going on so far. Still don't know what's going on so far. I'm confused. Last time I knew what's going on, but this time I don't know what is going on. Excuse me. Get back into the backrooms. Well, it's like the type you said, please don't go to the backrooms. Please get chased by a tripod monster. For real, we're like a tripod. Because they're locking out the back rooms. Thank God. Y'all need to talk about the back rooms. The haunted cell, for real. Alrighty. There you go. So, I wasn't found that one, but from I think they like the back rooms for good. Give away, like all the demons, for real. And there we go. That's it. Back is basically done. And that's this episode is basically Wicked Monday. Next week, I need to get a Twitter from my Twitter. That's it. I need to have that SSM. Same as this, y'all know, and yeah. Whew. This week was so good. So we had long hours about this. It was what Llama Austria about. I don't even remember what the Llama Austria was even about because I completely forgot. Because that was like the first show we watched. I don't have that good of memory, so let me refresh myself. Hold on. Alright, let's let tip on my talk with yeah, don't go talking, please. And it was about the betrayal for friend, for real. Alright. Second video right from my entertainment about this crazy homeless guy, for real. Yeah. And I always go out by yourself, for real. Alright, and then the third video was for who's to be a free. And like I got it right, the real one. I got the real one. But the most bad stuff, probably can get the glad too. I don't know if y'all seen in a real fake one, then I'm about to it, but yeah. It's all I'll show you guys out for which videos I watched next week. Last I did with Backrooms, of course. So that's it. This was way better for week than last week. For this week is 10 out of 10 for real. But next week again, find my Twitter. Yeah, have a week. So I give y'all 7 days. When I was watching, I still get down my cover stuff. We're about to yeah. So this is called Monday, which that means I'm at Becca's offensive. Okay, so not only y'all can this today, but y'all can my massing of Becca's offensive and possibly Rat's massing a tour thing. So y'all can see feels today. I'm popping off this time for real. And I don't worry, I know these is still some more basic crazy massing reactions. I'll get to that physically, okay? Alright, much watching, and I'll see you all next week for another sort of Boogie Scare Monday. Bye!